Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can obtain frequency densities using Microsoft Excel. I have a separate video where I show you how can this be done with my add-in, which has a separate function that can do this straight away, but in this video no add-ins are required. We will of course need some data, so I have some data in column A, and I've specified my lower and upper bounds for my categories. How to choose the number of categories, I have a separate video on that. Now to obtain the counts, I can simply use the count if statement. So what this does is it counts if the value is greater or equal to the lower bound, but also it should be less than the upper bound. So I can then actually just copy paste this formula down, and can also then of course sum all of these up. So that's the total sample size. The relative frequency might be important if you want the relative frequency densities, is simply the frequency and then divided by the total. Now you can press F4 on a cell, a range, or a cell that you're actually having in a formula. And I want to fix both the row and column number so that if I copy paste it down, that it actually doesn't change. And the sum of course of this should also be, if I do sum of the above, is indeed again 1. Now I need to determine the bin widths. So this is simply the upper bound minus the lower bound. These are just the same values as over here. So that's simply going to be this one minus that one. Then the frequency density is nothing else than that, then the frequency itself, which I had over here, divided by that bin width. So in this case I'll get the frequency 170 divided by 7 gives me about 24. So that means that the density of this group is actually 24. So if it would have been split in 18 but under 19 and 19 but under 20, 20 but under 21 all the way up to 24 but under 25, each of those would have had a frequency of 24. If you want the relative frequency density, that can be done in two different ways. You can either say, well, I'm going to take the frequency density and simply divide that by the grand total, which was the sum of these, or simply this 1969. That's one way. Or the other way is to say, no, I'm just going to take the already calculated relative frequencies and divide those by the bin width. So those two will actually produce the same result, as you can see, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. Alright, I hope this video was helpful and thank you for watching.